good evening and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How is everybody tonight? I hope you're all well. Let's say a quick hello to the chat. Good evening, Lorna. Hello, Mystical. And hello, Sarah. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. So then, what game are we going to be playing this evening? We are going to be playing a game of 1066, Tears to Many Mothers by All or Nothing Productions. This is a historical card game based on the Battle of Hastings, which of course has its anniversary tomorrow, the 14th of October. So we're poised the evening before the battle. Let's see if history will repeat itself. Sarah, are you all set and ready? You are? Okay, let's bring you on in then. Good evening, Sarah.
Hello.
Right, so you guess you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. I think this will actually be relatively easy for me to explain, and I'm sure that you will pick it up very, very quickly. And then, as I say, it will be interesting to see if history does repeat. Will the monkey, will Harold get an arrow in his eye? Who knows? We will soon find out. You're just appearing for 1 second, so let me just read a little bit of the blurb on the back here, just to set the scene. Here we go. A promise has been made and broken. An evil omen is in the sky. A crown is at stake, and history is about to be made. It is April 1066, and Harold Godwinson, King of England, faces a deadly challenge from Duke William of Normandy. William believes that Harold has broken his solemn oath by claiming the English crown, and the matter must be settled by force, in a battle the likes of which the world has never seen. Alright, so it did start in April, but as I say, the actual battle took place on the 14th of October. You back? You ready?
Yes.
Alright. Let's go to the table then.
Yes to the first part, maybe to the second part.
Okay. We'll be fine. This is...
Everything's fine. I'll be okay.
You will. So we have a wonderful artwork on the box there. Really does set the scene. Of course, we have played other games from All or Nothing Productions. We played The Shadow of Kilforth, if you remember that epic fantasy adventure game that we played, where the art is absolutely beautiful throughout. And this is very, very similar. We'll get to enjoy the cards as the battle takes place. But let's get things started. We'll move this out of the way.
The shadow game you're talking about, is that where all the cards were on the table and we'd flip it around if we landed on it, kind of a deal?
That's it, yes. And remember, we also...
Oh, I like that game.
Yes. We also played Veil Wraith. Remember the one which was the black and white artwork to it, which was very atmospheric, and it was you versus the game. It was a solo player game. Do you remember that one?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, we really enjoyed it.
I remember the one where we were a team. We were kind of a team.
That might be the one you were thinking of in that case, then.
Yes. Not Veilwraith, though, because it was the other one, and we would have to, like, flip the scene. Well, I didn't have to. My character didn't have to flip it, but yours did, and it caused, like, negative effects.
Oh, yes. That was the Shadow of Kilforth, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that one was good.
They do have...
And I'm sure I like the other one, too.
Well, you did, because, of course, it was a bit of a puzzle, wasn't it, to try and collect the keys in time before we ran out of cards. So it was good. It was very atmospheric. I believe that the first time we played it, we were defeated, but then the second time you really went for it. So, yes.
Okay, now I'm remembering that game with the keys. Yes, those were
Yes.
great games.
Good, good. Well, this is done by the same designer, so you'll see some similarities, certainly in the presentation of the game. But it's a totally different style of game. But I believe, because I have to admit here, I have never played Magic: The Gathering. I believe it is that style of game, except it's non-collectible. So everything you need to play the game is in the box, and I'll sort of show you here. Each player has a huge stack of cards. Okay, so there's plenty of cards for you to go through. All right, so let's just briefly go over the sort of the overview of the game. What's going to happen is we essentially have the battlefields on either side, and this is where we are meeting one another and engaging in the middle. And what we're going to be creating is a grid, a 3x3 grid of our units that we're going to place down on the battlefield. These units have essentially two values. They have might and zeal, and there are various stages where we have to count up what our might be or what our zeal might be, and that is how we defeat and overcome certain obstacles, and then ultimately how we will defeat one another when the conflict actually starts. So in essence, you're only going to have 9 cards, a potential 9 cards for your battlefield, and you are trying to get the best cards possible to be able to achieve those objectives. And that's kind of it in a nutshell, but it goes into a little bit more detail. So, the round phase is going to be as such. We're going to do the preparation. We will then go to deployment. If we have completed our objectives, we go to the wedge phase. If we haven't, we go to the objective phase. So it's pretty simple. It goes relatively quick. And in the deployment phase, the term summary is basically you can either play a card, you can execute an action that is on a card, you can sacrifice a card, or you can pass. Now, the important point about passing is that should you pass, basically you cannot do any more actions from that point onwards, but the other player could continue to do so if they're able. But whoever passes first gets the first player marker. It starts off at the beginning of the game with the Norman forces, so that's going to be you, Sarah. You're going to play the Normans, you're going to be on this side. I will be playing the Saxons, trying to defend England, so I will be on this side over here. So let me just go through here. So, what are the win conditions? That's, of course, probably the most important part. So let's just make sure we get these correct. Okay, so game objective: to destroy 2 of the wedges of enemy troops at the Battle of Hastings. So if you are able to destroy 2 of these wedges, you will win the battle. To destroy the opponent's leader. So either William or Harold. If you're able to take them, either one of those out, then you automatically win. Or to have your opponent run out of cards. So if we get to a situation where you are still able to draw a card, but I am not, then you would automatically win. If we get to a situation where neither of us can draw a card, then it's a draw. All right. So there is your deck of cards is kind of a little bit of like your lifeline. It's also the timer of the game as well. So depending on how quickly you go through those cards, how many you use, may determine whether you are still in it at the end. Okay, so that is the win conditions. So setup, well, we are starting with you, Sarah. So you're the Normans, you're going to take the first player marker. We have the 3 wedges in the centre. First choice is for us to basically place our leaders somewhere at the front, and you get to place first. And basically, this is just your starting position within the actual battle. So I guess it's up to you and we're going to be doing this in obviously in rows here. So this is wedge 1, 2, and 3. So on what row, 1, 2, or 3, do you want to place yourself? And since this is a first game, hey, I don't think it matters too much. So we will find out as we play, won't we? You're stumped on the first choice.
Yep. Let's go with 2.
You're going with 2. All right. So you're going to place on in just there. All right. What I'm going to do, because we've watched some videos to try and learn how to play the game, I'm actually going to do something slightly different, and I'm going to place myself on 3. All right. We're just going to see how that transpires for us. All right, we have our objective decks, and this first round, this will sort of guide us through. So I will be sort of helping, and we'll be referring to the rules as we progress, just so we're clear. So we've shuffled the decks, and basically we draw 4 cards each. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for you, 4 for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to have a quick scan of mine. Now, because typically your cards would be hidden information, I'm going to look at mine first, and then we'll look at yours. So any decisions, I will do my decisions first, so that then it doesn't influence because I've seen your cards, yeah? And that's typically how we do things, isn't it? So, okay.
Sure.
Okay. All right, I'm going to do those. Right, let's take a look at your cards. Let's see what you've got. And this game is very much, it's all in the cards. So, what do we have? Breaking the Shield Wall. It's a Norman card. This costs 1 resource. So up at the top you can see a seal with a number within it. That is the cost to deploy a card, or this particular card. In order to gain resources, you can either have cards that we'll place at the back of the battlefield, which if you use that card, it automatically gives you a resource. Or you discard cards from your hand, and that generates resources for you. So what does this do? Once this is deployed, it's an event. It's an action. Deal 1 damage to one enemy unit. And this is the response, or it can be as a response to cancel somebody else doing the shield wall. All right, so that's that card.
And then if I don't use the cards on my turn or whatever, do I get to keep them in my hand? Or once my turn is over, I lose all those cards?
You do. The thing is, you have a hand limit of 6. So basically, if you end up with greater than 6 cards at the start of a new turn, you discard down to 6, but then you automatically draw up 2 cards. So effectively, we're kind of always going to have 8, but it's going to be 2 new and 6 existing, depending on which ones you've kept.
So if I don't use this card like on my turn, it's okay. I can maybe use it next time. I don't have to like discard it at the end.
Yes, exactly. You can keep hold of it. Yeah, absolutely. But ultimately, if you go over those 6, then you will have to start discarding cards. All right? But it's up to you which ones you do. All right, so that's breaking the shield wall. That was an event. You have a character, okay? And I've got loads of great names to speak out here. So Alan Rufus, who is a noble. So if he is in play, each Breton card is -1. So that's cool. So again, he's a character. Now he's got some interesting points just here. He has, we've got the cross. The cross represents zeal. So remember how I explained that you're trying to add up the either zeal or might? So he would be adding nothing to zeal, but his might, which is the axe, is a value of 1. And underneath he has a health point. He has 1 health point. So if he takes 1 damage, then he is out. Alright. Costs 1 to deploy, but he does have that special bonus. So you're able to tap the card, use him at his action. And you can then, each Breton card is oh, actually, maybe it isn't. It's not an action. Maybe it's a passive. I think it's passive. It acts all the time. So each Breton card is a cost of -1. So we need to keep an eye open for cards that say Breton. Let's take a look at this gentleman. This is, oh my gosh. We're just going to call him Hugh. It's just Hugh, yes? He's a Norman noble. Now, he's interesting. He costs 3 to deploy. He has a zeal of 1, a might of 1, a health of 2. But can you see he has a green rosette on the right-hand side? So he automatically gives you 1 resource. So remember, to deploy cards, you either use characters that are already out on your battlefield, or you have to discard cards. So him being out on your battlefield, you've got a resource of 1 automatically. He's great. And Mystical's just pointed out.
And he makes a Richard card cost 1.
Oh, yes. So he's in his family. So, yes, so again, it is as similar as the previous card, isn't it? So, Richard Lagos, Richard Lagos, -1 if he is deployed. All right.
Are there multiples of these cards, or are they all different?
The characters obviously are individual, but maybe this Norman horseman, there might be several of these, of course, because it's an entire army we're dealing with, yeah? All right, so here we go. He's a unit. He is a cost of 3. He has a zeal of 0, a might of 2. He has 3 health points. Cavalry. So here we go. This card gains might of +1 whilst in row 3. Now let me just double check that. Got my little graph here. So I can make sure I get this correct. Okay, yes. So let's just change screen. We'll just use this as an example. We've got your cards here. Put that there. There we go. So, ultimately, this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be creating your battlefield, which can be a grid of 3x3, 9 cards in total. The thing is, when you deploy a card, because it's an engagement of 2 armies, your first cards have got to go into row 1. After that, you can start building up row 2, and following that is row 3. So there we go. He gains a +1 might whilst he's in row 3, which he is just there. So these are the little things you might want to pay attention of. Now, say for example, and we'll talk about your commander in a second, but say he ends up moving to here, and this card, whatever it was, is killed, he automatically will go and fill that spot. So you will always have cards in row 1. It will always move along. A subsequent card would come on in, and maybe you could place it behind him like so. Alright, so those are your 4 starting cards. I'm going to just leave them here.
So the front 3 have to be filled before you can start filling any of the second rows?
Well, no. Well, here you go. So this is just your start. You could effectively place a card there and then place him there. You do not necessarily have to fill these up. Okay? But once this is full now, you only have the top or the bottom as options, and they must go into row 1. Alright? Essentially, there will not be a situation where that occurs, where you have cards in row 2 or row 3 whilst row 1 is empty. Right? These will always go to the front line. Alright? Let's just put these back. What we will do is we will quickly take a look at your leader. which of course is... I don't want to say it's William the Conqueror because that hasn't happened yet. Okay, so he is already deployed. He doesn't have a cost. He has a zeal of 3, a might of 3, and he has 9 wounds. So he takes a bit to kill. So his action, as a commander, he can move 1 Norman unit or character to a different wedge. So this is how you can move your characters up and down within the rows, okay? As a leader, if this card is destroyed, the Norman player loses the game. All right, so we've already explained the win condition there. All right, so he goes just in there. Right, so you have your cards, I have my cards. Right at the start of this first round, we basically draw 2 cards. So 1, 2. I'm going to take my 2. 1, 2. I'm just going to place them down here, and I will look at them in a second. So I need to show you your 2 cards, and then we are all set and ready. So ready? Okay. Okay. Let's just take a look at those. So 2 more for you. What do we have here then? Let's get that there. Retreat or flight. So it's a response. So this is if I play a card, you can then play this card. That's the meaning of the response keyword. So it cancels hot pursuit. Then deal 2 damage to the wedge being battled. So this is a card to play in response to my card of hot pursuit.
Does it do all of these things, or do I have to pick one?
I think it's picking one. Let me just double check that, because that's a good question. Let me just double check.
Because I'll need to write down all of that.
So to initiate, a response must fulfill one of the following conditions. Be on a ready card the player controls, they tire the card and then resolve the response. So here we go. A response can only be initiated immediately after its triggering condition occurs and before any other game processes or card effects have occurred. It interrupts the game and resolves before its triggering condition resolves. A response is usually in the form of either cancel X or when X occurs do this, where X is the triggering condition. To be initiated, a response must fulfill one of the following. Be on a ready card the player controls, they tire the card and then they resolve the response. On an event card in the player's hand, they pay the event card's cost using resources, resolve the response and then place the event card on their discard pile. So that is an event card. So in other words, you would have that card in your hand. If you wanted to use that card, you would have to have the resources to be able to use it, which would be 2, and then you could actually use that card. So let me just double check here. If a card has more than 1 action and or response listed, the player can choose only one of these to execute. Alright, so there you go, that's your answer. So you can only have 1. So it is, response 1 was cancel the hot pursuit. Response 2 is when you deal damage to a wedge, deal 1 additional damage. So those are the 2 options. For solo, this game you can play on your own. And that is where this card then would deal 2 damage to an enemy leader's wedge. Alright. What do we have here? A stable boys. Stable boys. So it's an action. So it costs... Well, it costs 0 to deploy, so that is handy, maybe. Action, Animal Husbandry. Destroy this card to remove all damage from 1 cavalry unit. Alright, so they don't add anything to your zeal or anything to your might, but they can heal 1 damage from a cavalry unit. And of course, you know, as the invading force, you've got lots of cavalry. Okay, so those are your cards. I think we are good to go. Let me just double check here. Everything's done. You've got your now 6 cards. I've got my 6 cards. Okay, so we are now into... So that was the preparation, which we have done. We are now into the deployment turn. So you have 4 options here. You can play a card. You can execute an action. You can sacrifice a card, which would be removing a card which you've already deployed. Or you pass. So I think probably you want to play a card to start off with, yeah?
Okay.
What do you want to play?
Well, not that one, and not that one. Not that one. How many resources do I have?
You have none at the moment, but remember, resources are you generate by discarding cards until you.
Okay, then I would discard Stable Boy.
Okay, so you have 1 resource. All right, discard it. Yep. What do you want to play?
Oh, I get to do more than one. How many actions do I have on a turn?
You can basically continue to do actions. So if you've not played, so discarding a card, right, for your resource.
I can do however much I want to do until I say pass or until I can't do anything.
No, sorry, hang on. Discarding the card to generate resources is not an action. It is just something you need to do. So if you want to play a card, you discard a number of cards to play that card. Playing the card is your action. Once you've played that card, it then goes over to me, and I will do something similar. And we will keep on going back into it. You want to play Rufus? Okay. There's Rufus.
Rufus on the 3rd row.
Alan Rufus on the 3rd row, because it was 1 cost. So he's played. Right, that's your first action. It now goes over to me.
Success, I've won the game, everyone.
So let me just see what I've quickly got here. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Okay. Oh, there are so many good things here, but let's see. I'm going to do this as an example. That's my idea anyway. I can't afford that. I'm going to discard a card so that I can play a tactic card. And tactic cards go at the back. So they are not actually part of the battle, but these are advantages that you're able to get. And basically what I have, this is, I'll just read it out quickly, English Thanes, let's go with that. A Thane would be given a horse, a mail suit, and a sword, and use his king-given power to protect his shire from infiltrators and bandits. But he gives me 1 resource. So I have now always, every turn I will have a minimum of 1 resource without having to discard any more cards. Alright? So, comes back over to you. What do you want to do?
So after I played that card, I didn't draw any cards, correct?
No, you don't draw any cards until the start of the next round.
So for my next... Oh, I don't have any resources, though.
No, but of course you can discard a card and that generates 1 resource. Remember, you do have that card, you have Hugh. Once he's deployed, he generates you 1 resource.
Yeah, but he costs 3.
He costs 3 to put out, yes.
Okay, we got rid of the stable boy.
That you might, maybe at this initial stage in the game, you might have to get rid of a few cards. You've got a big pile there. I don't think you have to worry too much. But yes, your characters, they're going to be individual. Maybe some of the actions, maybe some of the units, they're expendable, aren't they?
I will get rid of the retreat.
Yep.
card.
So retreat is gone. Yep. I mean, ultimately, you've got the break the shield wall and the Norman horseman. You could get rid of the three of those to place Hugh out, couldn't you?
Yeah, but I don't want to get rid of my horseman.
But remember, that horseman is a unit card. There are going to be more in the deck.
Fine.
I mean, again, you know, I could be completely wrong, but...
Hey, nope. When you end up winning, we'll all know it's because you cheated. So I'll sell my unit horseman.
Okay.
And so that gives me 2 resources.
It gives you 3 and... Well, okay, if it's the horseman, that's 2. You've still got the breaking the shield wall.
Right. And I'd have to do that to play the then only remaining card.
Exactly.
Okay, yep, that's what we'll have to do.
I think, yeah. I think I'm going to have to do something similar. Okay, so there's Hugh. Where is Hugh going to go?
Hugh is going to go... What's the damage on your man there on the right?
This guy, at 9. Both of our leaders are 9.
Let's put him on the top row then. Why not? Let's go with it.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. Put him on the top row.
Well, this is it. We're playing a first game here, so let's experiment. Let's find out how it plays, yeah? Okay. So I'm in a similar position here. Now, because I have my guy in the back, I automatically have 1 resource. Is that going to be able to help me? I can...
Is your guy in the back?
Yeah, well, that's it. So I can use...
Oh, that was his... Okay.
Yeah, I can use him to deploy Saxon Axemen. So what I've done is I've just tilted it slightly so I know that I've used that ability.
Do I have cards that I can like keep to the side like that?
No, you didn't in that initial group because he is a tactic card. He's not a character.
Okay.
He's not a leader. You've had 2 characters that you've placed out.
I've had them in my pile, just not. I just haven't drawn one that lets me keep them on my side.
Oh yes, of course. Oh yes, you have plenty of tactic cards. Yeah, for sure.
And that's the one that you said is like magic, where you keep them to the side and you tap them like used mana.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. There you go. That's it. Start converting the game into...
I've played Magic Gathering a few times.
Right.
Give me a break. Gosh.
Okay. So...
I have my own custom mat. Leave me alone.
well then, there you go. You should pick this game up real quick. All right. So I've done...
No, it's been a while, Monkey. It's been a while.
I've done my turn. It comes over to you. You've got no cards. Okay? So there's really only one thing you can do, and that's pass. But that's fine. You keep hold of the first player marker in that case. All right? So you've passed. It comes back over to me. I have a couple of cards left, but there's absolutely nothing I can do. So ultimately, I'm going to pass as well. But I get to keep hold. I will keep hold of these cards for the time being. Right. So we have done everything in the development phase. We do not deal with the actual Battle of Hastings just yet because we have to go through our objectives. And our first objective is Halley's Comet. So it's the 24th of April, 1066. So this objective is destroyed automatically. When destroyed, move on to the War Council at Ruin, which is your objective. So automatically done. You did not have to do anything. And it's a similar situation for me. What's really nice though is these cards do have flavor text so that it explains a little bit about what was happening. And there's an interesting quote here from somebody who's got a very, very long name. But you've come, have you? You've come, you source of tears to many mothers, you evil. So that is where the game's title comes from. So first objectives automatically completed. But I'm now going to tell you what your next objective...
But did we get to collect them in, like, cups? Because then we could have made it into, like, a craft project and put pretty bows on them at least.
Pretty bows in...
And been like, here you go, mother. Here's some tears in it.
I don't think they were
But
quite...
it's done up cute for your shelf.
I don't think they were thinking of craft projects when this happened.
Michaels runs an ad, 50% off of all tear jars. And I'm all like, yes! Have I got a deal for those?
So here we go. So that first objective is completed automatically. But this next objective, you've actually got to do something. So here we go. This is the War Council at Ruin. So this is a Battle of Zeal. So when destroyed, move on to the Papal Blessing and Lawful Claim. So what you've got to do is you've got to have enough cards out in your battle area to generate 3 or more Zeal. Zeal being the icon with the cross. Right? Now let me just...
Right now I have 0 out.
Now let me just check here. At the moment you've got 1, you've got 4. You have 4 Zeal out. But let me just double check because I want to make sure... Well, hang on. I want to make sure I get this correct. So if a player's total Zeal is greater than the objective, they inflict the difference in damage. So at this moment in time, you have 4 Zeal out on the battlefield, and you need 3 or more. So in other words, you have 1 point of damage that you would do on this card, and it can take 6 damage. All right? So in essence, what you want to achieve is you want to get your Zeal up to 9. And that would get you your 6 points. So that's what you're aiming for now in all the cards you subsequently play. That's what you're trying to do. All right?
Got it.
All right. There we go. So we've got...
only have this turn to do it, this round, I mean.
No. It takes however long it takes. And once you've completed that, you move on to the next objective.
All right.
All right. So let's go back. I have something similar, and I'll let you know. I have to achieve 2 might, so it's slightly different for me. But again, I have 6 points of damage that I've got to do. So we now, so that was the objective phase. We've done that. We now start a new round. So preparation. Have we depleted our stacks of cards? No, we've not. Has any leader been killed? No. Are we able to draw up cards? Yes. So everything's good. The only thing we need to do is any cards that have been used, that we've tapped, we make ready once more. So he is now ready. He is now generating me 1 resource. Okay. So what happens now? So we would draw cards. If we had more than 6, we would discard down, but you get to draw up 2, and I get to draw up 2. All right, and that's going to be pretty much it. So there we go. We've kind of gone through an entire round and the start of a fresh round, and that's going to be the repetition of the game. So hopefully,
I only have 2 cards though. So how do I get more cards?
Yeah, okay, hang on. Let's just double check. Yeah. Because we start off with 4, we then add to 6. So each player with more than 6. Each player then simultaneously draws 2 cards. There is a variant where you draw more, but no, the standard game has you drawing 2.
What?
Right? But remember, it just means that this next turn, you might not be able to do necessarily much. I might not be able to do much. And then you draw more cards in the next turn. We're going to be going through these rounds pretty quickly. Right? So let's see where we're at, and because it is... Oh, actually, well, here you go. If you look at these cards, you'll see how it works out. Here we go. Eldred, the Archbishop of York. So he has a cost of 1. but he's also a resource of 1. And remember, you've got Hugh out on the battlefield that is automatically giving you a resource of 1. Okay?
Okay.
He is a response. So sorry, he has 1 zeal and he's 1 health. His response: if destroyed, suffer -1 zeal in this card's wedge for this round. Oh, okay. So of course, a holy man is killed on the battlefield. Your forces would be demoralized. But he is a great card that you could play as a combo using the resource from Hugh. You could play him to then have another resource ready for use instantly. Because your next card... Okay, well, it's Castle on the Hill. So this is attached to a wedge. Now, the wedges, remember, are in the middle. They are the actual battles that are taking place. So you would attach this, and it gives you a +2 might. So it's a bonus for your troops, which is pretty good.
Okay.
All right.
I already know what I want to do.
You can't play that one just yet, but you can see how this game's going to start building up, yeah? All right. Let me just quickly see what I have. And all right. So, you are the first player. What do you want to do?
I want to play the Eldred card.
Okay. And how are you going to go about doing that?
Because I have a free resource to use.
You do? So let's tap Hugh. There he is. Where is...
Oh, don't tap him there. Rude. Sorry.
Where is Eldred going? Is he going in row 1, 2, or 3? Oh, goodness me. It's a serious battle.
Right, yes. Serious. No tapping in serious battles. 1 in the first row.
In the first row. So there he is. Okay.
Then I pass.
Well, hang on. So it's my turn. So let's just we've got to keep the flow correct. But you I know exactly. Yes, you're going to do exactly that, aren't you? What I'm going to do.
Also, I get a resource. Didn't he give me a resource?
He has an active resource that you can use when it comes back to you. But of course, as you know, you can't really use it because this card is a value of 2. But it means...
Oh, so we don't get it and hoard it for later?
No. He's just there ready to be able to use it.
Tap the card to use, don't tap the card to get a resource. Got it.
Exactly.
Understand. We can continue.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is... I am going to discard a card to put down a Saxon infantry, Saxon Choral maybe? Let's put him in there. That cost me 1. It goes over to... Oh, actually... Oh, we should be sensible about this. So hang on. I will tap him, which gives me the resource to be able to play him. All right, back over to you. So you're going to pass. Mm-hmm. Yep, okay, so that's done. So it comes back over to me. Because he has a resource, I'm going to tap him as well. So I have now 1 resource already available to me. Now I'm going to discard a card, which gives me 2 resources. And allows me to put out Stigard, the Archbishop of Canterbury. So Stigard is going to go just there. He was a cost of 2. But he also has a resource available.
Hold his card up to the camera right quick. I just want to see his hat. I like the art on all these cards, and I want to see his hat.
He's not got a hat. He's got a bald, a sort of shaved back of his bald head.
Oh, it's a hair hat. Okay,
it's a hair hat.
That's great. That's great. He has the nest. All right.
the artwork.
It was a fuzzy brimmed hat.
The artwork is absolutely amazing on all of these cards.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Okay.
I wonder if they had if they make sunscreen, if that was still a hairstyle. I mean, I guess technically it kind of is if you're balding, but I wonder if there's just specific. Here's sunscreen for your nest hairstyle.
Okay, so
Being clientele were monks.
I can't play anything, so I'm going to pass. All right. So we then get to the objective stage. Now remember, any card that has been used does not contribute to the either the zeal or the might in the objectives, and it's the same with the battles because they've already been used. They've already done their thing. Yeah. So let's take a look. You are after achieving 3 or more zeal. So let's see what you've got. You've got 1 from the Archbishop. You've got 3 from William and none from Rufus. So you've got 4. You basically do 1 point of damage on your objective. You have 5 to go. All right, nice and easy. What am I after? I'm after 2 or more might. I've probably done this wrong. I've got my Saxon, gives me 2. I've got Harold, gives me 3. And the Archbishop gives me 0. So I have 3. Yeah. Put those 1, 2, 3. Done. Okay. We then, so that is effectively the end of this round. So we start the new round. We ready our cards, and I'm just going to push this back a little bit. Give myself a little bit of room so we know that the tactics are at the back there. Ready him just there. You're the first player. Draw up 2 cards. I draw up 2 cards. Okay. Let's show you what you've got. Okay. So you have the Papal Standard. You attach this to a wedge and it gains you a +1 zeal.
Okay.
All right, that's quite cool. And then you have, oh my goodness, here we go. Harald Harada III, King of Norway. Oh my goodness, Viking King. Action. Your opponent discards 2 cards of their choice. But this is an event. So this is basically played and then sort of discarded. Okay, wow, that's powerful. So it costs you 1, but you're going to force me to discard 2 of my cards in my hand. Hadrada. Thank you, Lorno. Hadrada. Hadrada.
Harold Hardrada the Third.
Hardrada. Hardrada. Okay, so there you go. See, those are your 2 new cards. But remember, out on the battlefield, you have resources of 2 at this moment. Let me have a quick scan of what I have.
Hardrada's alive. Sorry. That's what I was. Yeah, but I was thinking more like, what? Hard riders, not like hard riders.
I'm not going to repeat that. Okay, so Sarah, again, starting with you. What do you want to do?
So I have my castle, I have my papal, and I got my herald.
You have indeed.
What I'm going to do is...
Remember, you got 2 resources.
I have 2 resources,
yes.
And so I am going to do the papal, which gives somebody some zeal.
Some zeal. Let me just double check this because so attached to a wedge and it gains 1 zeal. So let me just look about attaching, because is this only? I want to make sure. Is it going to add? I think it's it's going to be considered for everything, isn't it? I'm not 100% certain on this, so let me just double check here. I'm going to go along with it. So, okay. What we'll do is we add this to the wedge. So if then when we are fighting, because I wasn't sure whether it is only when we're doing the wedge fight, because it says attached to wedge, or can you use that plus in doing your objective as well? I might be, I don't know which way to go on it. I'm going to say we're just going to add it up in your total amount, and it's not purely for the wedge, but I might be wrong, so we'll find out in due course, but let's go with that. So it's going to cost you 1, which, I mean, I don't think, well, it might matter, mightn't it? You're after zeal. So, actually, both of them have 1 zeal, so it doesn't matter too much which one you tap to be able to deploy this standard.
Well, if I tap them, that zeal doesn't count towards anything?
Exactly, yes, because they've been used in deploying this. But remember, the standard itself is going to give you +1, so it kind of cancels it out, but at least it's there for permanent.
Broody McBroody, tap him.
Broody, that's got to be Hugh, hasn't it? Which wedge are you going to place it on? Remember, it's going to make defeating that wedge easier for you. But all of them have 10, so...
Let's go with that third one, I guess.
The third one down at the bottom? Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're going to place that just there. Just in case it wasn't clear, and because I didn't necessarily explain, remember, it's only going to be the forces in this row, right, that attack that wedge, yes? So you'll be just adding these up, and they will be attacking this wedge. Same with this one, same with this one. So this means this one's going to be slightly easier. You may be able to have weaker units or characters in there because you've got a +1 in play. All right. Okay, over to me. So I have, in effect, if I use all of my characters, I have 3 resource active already. Ooh.
Make bad decisions.
Okay.
What?
well, no, you could be right. So let's see. Hang on, I've got 2. I've got 3 out. Oh, I could possibly do it, couldn't I? Right. We'll tap that guy there. And we're going to bring out Thurkill White. These are such great names. And of course they are. It's all been authentically researched. So these are actual people of the time. Thurkill White. But look at the art. Isn't that beautiful? So he's the Thane of Kingston. Saxon Danish noble. Yeah. Okay, so
that's what I noticed. You're like reading all this information. I'm like, man, I wish my hair was that thick.
He's got nice hair. So there we go. Hair. He's gonna go just there. It cost 1. He gives me an additional 2 might. All right, over to you.
I'm gonna put down Mr. Hard Rider.
Hard Rider. Okay. You could use the Archbishop to pay for that. Yes. Hmm. Yeah. All right, so we've tapped him. Where is Hard Rider going? Even I'm saying it now.
I guess on the first row, maybe.
So you want him at the back here? Oh,
now. I want to do the action.
Actually, yes. Remember, yes, he's an action. Yes, so he's an event. So you don't actually place him. So you basically discard
things.
Yes, exactly. So you've used him. And it means I've got to discard him. There we go. I've got to lose 2 of my cards. I should have thought of that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I should have thought about the cards that I'm not supposed to remember she has. You hear that, everyone?
Yeah.
He admitted it.
Well, there you go.
Admitted it. Oh, I'm too busy to ever think about the cards you have that I'm not supposed to know about. And then here he goes. Oh, yeah, that's right. You had. Oh, man. And I'm like, what? Monkey, pretend better than that.
I know.
God.
Well, hey, look.
Could have been more like, oh wow, that you had that card, I never knew.
Well, there you go. You see, I completely forgot about what you potentially could have done, and I have been foiled in my plan. So that being the case, yes, you've used Hadrada. You've got rid of 2 of my cards. It goes over to me. I'm passing because there's nothing I can do. So I steal the first
now,
player
when
marker.
we discard, because when I did watch the video, I remember seeing that it said like if you have to remove a card from something,
Yep.
or you need to discard, you put it into your discard pile. They were very clear on stating that.
Yes.
So is there another pile that it could eventually go to?
No, but I believe there might be cards
But
that.
cards.
This is why I've got your discard just down here. You see, just down, just here.
Right.
They
so
do say that the discard pile has to stay in order, and it might be because there are cards that allow you to go through your discard.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I just wondered because I remember the video making a clear point of it saying whenever it says to remove a card from battle, put it in your discard. If
Yes.
it says to discard a card, put it in your discard. So I was like, do we reuse that pile ever? Or is they just made mention of it, and so I just
It's a it's a possibility. We will see. Okay. So I have passed. Play goes over to you. I believe you're probably passing now, aren't you? Because you can't do anything. Yeah.
okay.
All right. So what we do then is we go to the objective, and again we just go through these motions. So you're after 3 or more zeal. So you've got William bringing 3 in, but Alan brings nothing in. So that being the case, you haven't got greater. Let me just double check, make sure that it is got to be greater. I think it is because it's the difference, isn't it? So yes, that would be right. Objectives, double checking. Sums up total, that's it. If the total exceeds, then the player deals the damage equal to the amount of which it exceeds. So yes, so you created 3 zeal, but you needed 3 or, well, you need 4 or more. So you need a +1. So unfortunately, you do not add to your objective at this moment. Okay. Let's take a look at mine. I am after 2 might. All my cards are in play. So what have I got? I have 1, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 6 might in excess, which means I complete that objective. So I'll take these off. I'm just going to put them there. Let me quickly find out what happens. When destroyed, you must destroy one of your units or characters if possible, then move on to the Battle of Stamford Bridge. Oh, goodness. So one of my units basically falls in combat. Okay, well, it's going to be these Saxons up at the top. Oh, no, but they give me resources. Oh. Oh, this is tough. I'm going to take these, the Saxon Axemen. They're going to go. So they are dead, but that means that the Archbishop of Canterbury is leading the fight with his awesome haircut. Okay, so that moves on.
Glorious glowing hair nest.
He's basically, so he's right on the front line. Oh, okay. So I have a new objective, which shall I share it? Let's find out what my objective is.
Very men with my glorious hair nest, I shall lead you into battle.
So, Battle of Stamford Bridge. So, I'm looking for might here. It's 1 or more. 6 points. All right. So that's what's going to be happening next for me. Ultimately, what we're doing is once you get through all of your objectives, then you are able to fight on the wedges. And of course, remember, defeat 2 wedges and you win the game. So you do want to try and get through your wedge as quickly as possible. Or your objectives, sorry. Am I correct? Thought there. Right, so, start of new turn. Ready those cards. 2 more cards drawn out. All right, let's see what you've got. Oh, this is this is a happy chap. Maybe he doesn't realise where he's heading. It's another Hugh. It's a Hugh de Montfort. He's a constable of Normandy. Costs you 3, 0 zeal, 3 might, 2 health. He's a character. When played, marksman elite, destroy 1 non-leader enemy. Wow, okay, so he automatically takes somebody out of my my battle line.
So when we so when you tried to defeat the middle card or whatever, are you able to just chip away at it?
Yes.
Okay. But we could lose cards doing it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so then what would be my next card?
Okay, so you got Hugh. This is an attachment. This is praying and confessing. Attached to a unit, and that unit gains 1 zeal.
Do I have units out right now?
Oh yes, yes. So, oh, actually, no, they're all characters. Sorry, you're right. Good call. You have no units out. You have.
You, the one that we just did. What is he?
He is a character.
Okay.
So yes, that is specific. You need to attach it to a unit. So the unit are going to be like the basic, the cavalry.
Now, if I play you, when it says that, like if I play him, does that mean tap him?
No, it means
I don't see him as being a one-time deal because he has zeal and everything. So how would you get the?
No, when you play him, hence when you spend the resources and put him down onto the actual battlefield, that is you playing him, and so he straight away.
And then he just stays on the board as a fighter?
Exactly, yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like the other card where it just went away.
No, he's a character. He's going to stay in play and add 3 might but 0 zeal. All right. So yes, you've got a couple of attachments and you've got a character. And remember, you do have 2 resource generators over here. So, all right. Let me just see what I have. Well, let me just see what I've got. Oh my goodness, I've got Adam Driver. Here we go. I'm gonna show you because I just want to. Because again, the card art. Obviously, we're seeing mostly your cards, but I want you to see Adam Driver.
Those are some plump, Botoxed lips.
Yeah, there we go. I think he looks like a little bit like Adam Driver, but there you go. All right. So, oh my goodness, we got an event and we got a character. My good, yeah. Oh, he's gonna be. Oh, he's gonna cost so much.
No, that does not look like him at all.
Does it not? You don't think so?
What? Wait, put his face back up.
It has Adam Driver's eyes, surely. Are we not feeling Adam Driver there?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Moving on. Right. So
Adam Driver's face is much more like flat wall-like.
So then, we're starting with me because I am now the first player. I have 3 resources. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. I got 3. Right. In my first go, this is interesting, I'm going to pass.
All right, so
Okay, over to
how
you.
do you attack the middle?
You only get to attack the middle once you've gone through all of your objectives, and you've not done your second one yet, and there are 6 in total. So don't worry about the middle.
The first thing I want to do is we're going to put down Hugh, I guess.
Okay, so Hugh costs you 3. You have 2 available, and you must, so therefore you must discard
what
one.
What did my castle card do?
What's your castle card? It gives you, you attach it to a wedge, and it gives you a +2 might.
Oh, and then my other one, though, does +1 zeal.
Yes. But the other one is attached to a unit, remember? That one gets attached to a wedge.
Oh, and I don't have any units.
So actually, because it specifies that that's a unit and that's a wedge, I think that castle only works in the actual wedge combat. Because otherwise, it would say it would not have attached to a unit. So I think that's probably the best way for us to play this. If it's to a unit, it gets added up for your objectives. But if it's attached to a wedge, it's only in the Battle of Hastings that it's actually going to take place.
But I don't have any units to attach.
You don't have any units, no. So you might want to get rid of the praying and confessing. It's not worth it at this moment.
So for my first magic trick, I guess that we will get rid of the attached to a unit card.
Yep. So praying and confessing goes. You tap both
and then I
of
guess
those.
I have to tap the other 2, so that way you can put Mr. Hugh out.
Where does Hugh want to go?
I guess the second row.
Okay. And because he has been played, he can destroy 1 non-leader enemy. So basically, you've got the Saxon, you've got the Archbishop of Canterbury, or you've got Thurkill. And I'll tell you, the Saxon is 1 might, 1 hit. Archbishop, and obviously gives me a resource. The Archbishop gives me a resource. He is 2 zeal, 0 might. Thurkill gives me 0 zeal and 2 might.
Well, then we'll get rid of the first guy that gives you might and a resource.
Okay, so he's gone. Done. All right. And I've passed, of course. You're effectively passing now as well. So we then work out your objective. You are after zeal, and I'm afraid the situation is the same because you had to tap those guys. So you only have 3 zeal from William, and of course you need greater than that because Hugh didn't add any, and Alan doesn't add any. So unfortunately, you're not doing any more to your objective. But you've thinned out my guys a little bit. I am after might. I only have to have 1 or more might. So
I need seconds before we do the next part on my turn.
It's what? Sorry.
I need like 2 seconds before we do the next.
Yeah, I'll just go through. I'll just go through this. So I need 1 or more might. I have Harold of 3, Thurkill of 2. So I got 5. So basically, it is 4 that is going onto the Battle of Stamford Bridge. There we go. Right. And so we start a new round. We bring everybody back in play. I'm the first player, but Sarah has 2 cards. I get 2 cards. I'll quickly just look at these. I'm up to 5 cards, so I haven't had to discard any just yet. And we'll wait for Sarah to come back. Chat, are you following along quite happily with this? Do you see the flow of the game?
Hey, I'm back.
You're back? Okay. I've prepared everything. We've got your 2 cards, so...
Hey, we are.
Let's take a look, see what you got. Okay. Who do we have here? I like the characters. Here we go. Malcolm Canmore. He's the King of Scots. You've got all the kings on your side, haven't you? He is an event. So your opponent discards 2 cards of their choice. You've got that type of style of card again, but this is Malcolm Canmore. You've got another event. It is the Lone Axeman, who is a Viking. Action: remove all damage from Battle of Stamford Bridge.
Remove all damage, which is what you're working on?
This is exactly what I'm working on. So it costs you... It costs you 1 to deploy it, and you would take away the 4 points of damage that I have managed to get. Oh my goodness, this is awesome! in a negative way for me. So those are your 2 cards.
I'd like to think his vest is made of strips of glorious nest hair.
Right, okay. So here we go. So it's starting with me. I have 2 resources available.
Whelps, many mothers. What? Yes, go on.
I'm going to use my 2 guys. And, well, just because I want to find out. So I'm going to have some archers deployed. Because we want to sort of try something different. Again, we are learning the game, aren't we? So my archers have gone out for 2. It goes over to you. What do you want to do?
I want to play the Axeman.
So how do you want to go about playing him? You can either discard a card or you can use one. And remember, using these guys is not helping you achieve your objective. You need both of those to give you that bonus.
I'm gonna get rid of the castle.
Get rid of the castle, alright. So castle's gone. The Lone Axeman. Remove all damage from the Battle of Stamford Bridge. Ah, that's painful. So basically, he came on in and turned the tide. All right, done. It goes over to me. I'm going to use my archer. So this is an action. So again, just like using resources, we tap the card. Deal 1 damage to an enemy up to 3 rows away from this card. So 1, 2, 3. Well, I can certainly hit William. So I'm going to do 1 point of damage against William. I'm trying to change the course of history here, and you can have an arrow in your eye. All right. Over to you.
What is my zeal at right now?
So your zeal now is at 5. Remember, you want 3 or more, right? Oh, sorry, greater than 3. So, in other words, at this moment, you would be doing 2 points on your objective, which is what you want.
And 2 out of 6.
So it's another 2, so then you'd have 3 in total. You've got 3 more to do.
Okay. Then I might pass.
Yeah,
I'm going to pass.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So you take the first player. You've passed. I'm going to pass as well. Okay, so we've just worked that out. You get 2 points onto your objective. All done. I'm starting again, aren't I? So I've basically got 5 might. So I need, that's 4 points. So in fact, actually, I managed to take it all back. You've just delayed me. So with Harold at 3 and Furkill at 2. I can't use the might from my archer because, of course, he's already been used in that round. And so we ready everybody and draw up 2 cards for you, 2 for me. I'm just going to let you know I have 4 cards, so these 2 don't affect. I'm just going to quickly look. Okay. Right. Okay, here's your 2 cards. Oh, you got another character. You're definitely doing all the characters here. Roger de Montego, Mary, Roger de Montego Mare. He's the counselor to Duke William. Cost of 3. He's got 1 zeal, he's got 2 might, and he's got 2 health. And he's got a very determined look.
Okay, so hold on, let me write this down. So this one is Roger, and what does he do?
Roger, he's 1 zeal, 2 might, 2 health.
Oh, 1 might. Oh, no, 2 might. 2 that, and is that...
He's got the important zeal in there. It's what you need. So
yeah.
Another zeal's good for you. The next card is, and we've kind of experienced already, it's the Ridge Fortifications. So it adds to your wedge, gains +1 might. So we already kind of know that.
All right. And
all right.
then the other one that I still have
is Malcolm. Yes. Okay.
Sorry, I'm on a new page of notes.
All right, so it is your turn. What do you want to start with? You need to try and keep your zeal high.
Right. What's on my... Does Malcolm have points?
Malcolm does not. He's just an event like Harada was, so basically he will take away 2 of my cards.
So let's play Malcolm.
Oh, right, okay. So how are you going to play Malcolm?
Rid of the Ridge Fort.
Richard Fort, okay, so that's gone. And Malcolm, King of Scots. Action, your opponent discards 2 cards of their choice. So he's been played. Oh, gosh. All right, well, they can go. They can go. All right, 2 cards discarded. It goes over to me. I have 2 resources. I'm going to have to do it. So I have 2. So I'm going to tap. I'm going to discard 3 cards. So that's 5 in total. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's do it. 5 in total. And we're going to get not Adam Driver and place him in play there. So basically, he has a family element. So if I have cards within his family, then of course we get the bonus. They're cheaper for us to basically do. All right, that's done. Over to you.
Okay.
You've got 1 card left.
I don't think that I necessarily want to play him.
Well, I don't think you can because you've only got 2 resources available to you, haven't you?
Okay then. So yeah.
Yeah. So you passing. So you keep hold of the token. I have no cards left, so I am passing as well. So we quickly summarize, and you got 1, you got 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, it's another 2 tokens onto your objective. So you're up to 5 in total. Over to me. I now have 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have plenty of might to finish this Stamford Bridge. So Stamford Bridge is finished. But when destroyed, you must destroy one of your units or characters if possible. So someone's going to die. Now, I daren't get rid of the resources. I like how, did I miss anything important? Yes, he thinks that card looks like Adam Driver. Is that as
That's not
important?
what that says. It says he thinks Juicy Lips up there looks like Adam Driver.
That's the most important thing you've missed, Roga. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I didn't do that. Oh, you see, here we go. This is the danger of of making sure you read your cards properly. So Thurkill, when he was deployed, he could have dealt 1 damage against 1. He's the equivalent of Hugh, but I never did that. But anyway, we'll let it pass because that's my fault for missing what Thurkill could do. Ha! So any case, because of that error, Thurkill dies in Stamford Bridge. All right. So, end of the round. I have a new objective. Let's just quickly take a look. So, this is March Down Ermine Street, 1st of October. This is a Battle of Might. I need 3 or more on my might to do this one. Okay, reset all the cards. Done. 2 cards for you. 1, 2, 2 for me. So I only have 2 cards, and you have 3 now. So it does sort itself out, doesn't it? Let's okay, yep. Oh, okay, done. Right, let's see what you have. Ah. This is a tactic. So this is a card that gets played at the back of your your battle line. So this is Edgar the Atheling, Hungarian noble action. William Fitzrobert, which of course is your leader, gains +1 zeal until the end of the round. Okay, so William gets an extra zeal. That's what you need. That's really good. Costs you 1 and basically just stays in play. Every round you get a +1 of your zeal. And then it's another tactic, feudal levies. Costs you 1 and gives you an extra resource that is at the back of the line. So that's really good. All right.
So gives me a resource. Wait, what?
Feudal levies will give you a resource. It costs you 1, but it will give you 1 on subsequent rounds.
Oh, okay. So he's a card that we can tap.
Yes. Just like I've been doing at the back with my old guy with the sword. All right. So there you go. There's your 2 cards. Interesting. Gonna have to make some choices here, or maybe not. Who knows? All right. And it is starting with you. So, what do you want to do?
I can sacrifice one of my guys and still have enough zeal to get at least 1 zeal down, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
All right, then I will. Because what does my Roger card do?
Roger. Roger is going to give you a zeal. It's also going to give you 2 might. And he has 2 health. So
right.
he's not doing anything overly special, but he is giving you might and zeal. So
He's just one zeal, so...
yeah.
Oh, do I want to sacrifice both of those cards? No, because we want the one that'll give me eventually one extra resource.
Yeah,
We wanna
resources are
keep
good.
that one.
Yeah, yeah.
So then we will get rid of the... I guess Edgar is the one that doesn't give a resource.
He doesn't give a resource. He gives you a permanent 1 zeal going forward once he's in play.
No, it's okay. We can get rid of him and
Yep.
tap one of the cards up there.
So he's gone, and we're tapping one of the cards. So that gives you... That's 2 resources, but you need 3 for Roger.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to tap another card, potentially.
One of the one at the top, and I put him in, I'll still have enough zeal for 1, right?
Well, as soon as he plays on in, you'll have the 1 point from him, which will give you the one that you need to complete that objective. So yes, you would save that other card for the next round. So yes, you will achieve your objective. That's what you want to. That's what you want to hear.
On the second, yeah, and we'll put him on the second row.
So he's been tapped. He's going on the second row.
Do anything?
He doesn't do anything, but he's got that 1 zeal.
He's just a fighter.
Yeah, which is what you need, and that card then just stays there. All right, that's cool. Right, I have potentially 2. Okay. Right, I'm gonna Oh. Okay, no, I'm gonna do it. Because it's all about learning the game. I'm going to tap these 2. And I'm going to bring on in my Saxon Javelman. He brings in a zeal of 0, a might of 2, and he has 2 health. When played, deal 1 damage to 1 non-leader enemy. So I am going to use him. I won't be too mean. I'm going to use him to deal 1 damage. But actually, yeah, okay. Yeah, we won't be mean. We'll do 1 damage against Hugh. All right. No, actually, yeah. And I think I might be right in saying. Let me just double check. It would make sense. Let me just double check. I can't. Oh, hang on. Action abilities. Maybe it's that. I do think that any actions that cards do, unless it says it's generic, as in this one taking damage against another card, it must be along on their row. I think that makes sense. You can't have him suddenly hitting him. I think that probably is right, because the whole point then is you can move units up and down, can't you, to be able to target if that's what you wanted to do. So that makes sense to me. Okay, so he's done 1 damage there. And over to you then. Which I don't think there's anything you can do, is there?
No, can I... If I completed my card, can I not attack?
No, not yet. It's not at that point. So you're basically you pass now. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you pass. I've got no more resources, so I pass as well. Okay. So we go to your objective. You're basically looking for zeal. We've got Roger who has 1. We have Harold that has the 3. So you've got 4 in total. So you get that extra point of zeal. So you've got 6 in total. You've completed the objective. All right. Let's just see what it says. So, when destroyed, move on to the papal blessing and lawful claim. Oh, you don't have to discard anybody. Okay, that's interesting. So your next objective, this is what you're working on now, is again, it's a battle with zeal. So, when destroyed, you may remove 1 damage from William Fitzrobert. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is, you need to have 1 or more, so 2 or more zeal now. So this actually is a bit more in favor. All right. So that's your next objective. That's what you're aiming to do.
I pretty much have already done.
Is what, sorry?
Which I can pretty much already accomplish.
Yeah, pretty much. You're yes. In fact, so what have you got here? You got 3, you got 4, you got 5, you got 6.
Wait for my next turn though, still to do it.
In your next turn, if you didn't use those cards, you could do 5 points on that straight away. Okay, depending on how you play. So yes, you could actually go through that pretty quick. All right, over to me. I'm doing the march down. What was it? Ermine Street. I need 3 or more. So let's take a look. I got 2. I have 3. We're up to 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I did 8 points there. So yes, I have achieved that objective. But when destroyed, you may remove 1 damage from Harold. Well, thankfully Harold's not got any damage. And I move on to a prayer at Waltham Abbey. Okay, so I'm on to my next objective, which is 2 or more zeal. Oh, that'd be interesting, because mine's mostly on might, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to start a new round. We bring LV's cards back into play. You are
right now. My card's upright. I have how many zeal? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hang on a sec.
4?
So zeal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 in play at this moment in time.
So would that mean that I would completely finish that card, or would I still need like?
You need 1 more.
3?
You need 1 more zeal. You need 7 because it's the difference. Remember, so it's the 6.
Okay.
All right, but it means
So
you
then
can't.
what are my cards?
You cannot use those resources. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what your cards are. We've got a lot of hues on your side. Hue.
So I didn't attack anything though, because last time that you. Oh no, it's because the card says to attack, right?
Yes.
But mine didn't. It said to do. Okay.
At this moment in time, we're doing our objectives. We're not actually attacking anything quite right at this moment. Hugh Guardsmesnil is a cavalry commander, nobleman. This card gains +1 might whilst in row 3. So you remember how that works. It costs 2, gives you 1 zeal, 1 might, and also an additional resource. So he's a good card. This is an event. It costs you 1. Preparation at Dives. Action. Play 1 card at cost -3. Oh, okay. So basically, action. Play 1 card at cost -3.
So I could play 1 resource for him and then play my hue for free. Got it.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So it'll cost you 1 for doing this, but you're basically able to play another card, and you have -3. So yeah, it makes a card cheaper for you to do. But it's an event, so it's a one-off sort of usage. Okay, that's quite cool. So you got those 2 cards just there. Obviously, in this game, there is no saving of bonuses. You just use it all. Then anything that's over just gets lost. Okay, I need to look at my 2 cards. Oh gosh, okay, yeah, alright, fine. Right, alright, your first player, over to you. What are you going to do?
I will sacrifice my feudal card to be able to play my event card, which will then allow me to play my hue card on the top row.
You're going to sacrifice your event card.
Or whatever it was. So that way I can play my event card.
Oh, you mean you want to sacrifice? Sorry, you want to sacrifice your hang on, change the camera. You want to sacrifice
the tactic card.
The tactic card. So get rid of that to be able to play your event card, which then allows you to play the hue card. Am I correct in thinking that? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and you're going to place him on row 3.
No, like row 3 up top.
Yeah,
Yep.
There you go. Yes. Okay, that's cool. Wow. Okay, so you've blasted through all of those. All right, and so you're out of cards now. But I think that probably that was a good set of sequence of actions there. Okay. Ooh. I'm going to use Harold. I'm going to use his action. Move one Saxon unit or character to a different wedge. I'm going to bring Girth down here. Okay. It goes over to you. You have no cards.
So you're allowed to just move them about?
It basically says move one Saxon unit or character to a different wedge.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's the different wedges, and because he was here, he comes down to here, but he has to fill the gap. So basically, Girth goes in there. All right, because they're always pushing towards the wedge. So over to you. You got no cards. I'm assuming you're going to pass.
Yeah.
Okay. Back over to me then. I am going to... Do I do it? Do I do it? Yep. Oh, yep. Gonna tap him, and discard 2 cards to bring out local Saxon archers. And they're gonna go in onto row 3. All right. You've passed, so it's still for me using these actions. I'm going to do him an action, deal 1 damage to an enemy, 1 over to William, and then again with me, another card, gonna do another damage. So I've used both of my archers. There's nothing else I can do. So I now pass. All right. So you're on to doing your objective. You need your zeal. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You automatically complete the papal blessing. Remove 1 damage from William. So you take 1 back. Okay, new objective for you. So in fact, if you continue this play, you're in a good way of actually completing this objective. So this is the dedication of Matilda's Abbey. It's a battle of zeal. When destroyed, you may draw 1 card, and then you move on to your next objective. So you just need 7 or more zeal to be able to accomplish that. All right, let's look.
If I do anything.
Sorry, what was that?
Which I have if I don't mess with anything.
Exactly. Yes. So you're all set and ready. Yeah. Okay, so over to me. I'm after Zeal now, and I'm probably not in a good state. I need 2 or more Zeal. 0. I can't use him. I can't use him. I can't use him. I can't use him. 1. So there we go. Because I've used all my cards, I actually cannot do anything on my objective. So there we go. We ready the cards up? Draw 2 cards. My 2. I will just take a quick scan at mine. Oh my goodness. Right. Let's take a look at yours. All right, here we go. You have an event. Rout enemy. So it costs you 2. It's an action. Destroy 1 enemy unit with a zeal of 1 or lower. So that's interesting, because you know that I am trying to amass zeal. So you get to destroy an enemy unit with 1 zeal or lower. All right. And then you have another character. This is Ivo, yeah, Ivo Tail Leffer. I'm sorry, exclamation ruined. Exclamation ruined just all night for this one. Taillifer. Oh my goodness, action, suicide attack. Deal 1 damage to an enemy in the same wedge, then destroy this card. Wow, okay, he basically just gets on in there, doesn't he? He's a minstrel.
What counts as an enemy?
Who's a lunatic.
Just any card over there can deal a damage to?
So it says, suicide attack, deal 1 damage to an enemy in the same wedge, and destroy this card.
Okay.
See again, so that's interesting, because it's all down to the writing, isn't it? The archers say deal a damage to somebody in this wedge. He says deal to somebody in a wedge, yet the javelin says deal 1 damage to 1 non-leader enemy. It doesn't say in the wedge. So in fact, I think he could have hit any wedge, but just not a leader. Okay, because it's all down to what the cards say. But importantly, that Ivo, there was 0 cost. So you could just play him. Oh, that's perfect, isn't it? Okay. Right. Well, let's move on. Let's move on. So your first player, and you've got your 2 cards. Well, away you go. What are you gonna do?
So I guess that I'll just play him.
Yep. Right. So you can play him.
Play him in.
Yeah. He basically goes on in there, and it costs you nothing. He is in play, but that is effectively your sort of action. You come back to him in a second, yeah, if you want to, of course. Other than that, he doesn't add any zeal, and he adds no might, but it costs you nothing. So
that's not your action? Like, no, I don't do him right there?
Nope. No, just remember how my archer playing a card is an action,
okay,
and then using the ability on the card is another action in your subsequent turn. Okay? So he just stays in there for you to then use when you are ready. Now, you see, now hang on. So remember, let's just take him back just for 1 second. Just in case you want to do something. Remember, William, he can use, as his commander, he can move 1 Norman unit or character to a different wedge. So if you wanted him to attack, because remember, it's somebody on the same wedge. So at this moment in time, he can only attack, if you were to put him here, he can only attack these 2 characters here, which is what you might want to do.
Would anybody die with 1 hit?
These two certainly won't.
No, but in the second row.
Right, okay, so the monk would die, the archer would die. So these are the two that would actually die instantly from that one attack. But it means you would have to use William to move one of these to put him into that row, which means William's been used, you will not have enough zeal to complete your objective. So that is all the choices that you've got to now consider. So you could take him out. You could take. I mean, I'm pointing out the tactics here. You could take out.
Now, what is doing the objectives? Going through the objectives helps with what?
Once all your objectives have been done, you can then start taking out these wedges, and ultimately the wedges are the Battle of Hastings. If you are able to take out 2 of these, you win the game. But in fairness, we're up to 8:45. I think this is going to be one of these games where we freeze it because we're not going to be able to complete it tonight.
No, we're okay. We're good. We could keep going. Well, right now I have enough zeal to complete that card.
But you could complete that card, but it would mean you don't. You can't necessarily use him. Okay.
I'm just gonna pass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you don't necessarily have to use him. So is that what you're going to? You're going to keep the card in hand?
I'm passing.
Yeah, passing. Right. Fine.
Final answer.
Yep. Okay.
I understand this game. We got this. Let's go.
Yeah, I know. I told you you'd have it. And it's a great game, isn't it? Oh, but anyway, let's see if I can do something. Right. I want to play both of these, don't I? Oh, this is interesting. Right, okay, here we go. I'm going to use him so that I can play... I can't say her name. Eldgirth of Mercia. But the family of Edwin and Morcar are at -1.
They're like, our daughter's gonna be too beautiful. Let's give her a horrid name so nobody will want her.
Yeah.
Right?
So I've played her. She's gonna go now. She actually goes out on my battle area here. You've passed, so it comes back to me. Now she gives me 1 resource, and the Archbishop gives me 1 resource. So I'm gonna tap her, and I'm gonna tap the Archbishop. And that gives me 2 resources. And I'm able to then play... I can say her name. I can play Edith. So, as an action later on, remove 1 damage from 1 Saxon unit or character. So she might be useful. Good old Edith. So Edith goes on in there. And ultimately, yep, okay, so that's it. And I'm then going to do actions. I'm going to use my archer, who's going to do a point of damage. I'm going to use my other archer, who's going to do another point of damage. Alright. That then brings me to the end of my turn. So, we go over to you. We automatically know that you have 7 zeal. So you have completed this objective, and you get to draw a card. Let's do that right now.
Oh, so I get an extra card?
You do. So you have Frayed Desertion. Destroy 1 enemy unit with a zeal of 0. Do I have somebody with a zeal of 0? I have the Saxon Javelinman. I have the archers. Oh, both of my archers do have 0 zeal. So there you go. It's either the javelin or the archers. You could, when you pay the cost on this card, you could destroy 1 of those cards. It's an event. So that goes into your hand. before you even do anything else. So your next objective, you're after might now. 3 or more. The Normans set sail on the 27th of September. When destroyed, you must destroy one of your units or characters. All right, so you're going to lose.
So this one says when destroyed, you may destroy one of your units.
So you're going to lose when you complete this objective. You're going to have to destroy one of your cards out on your battle line.
To complete this one?
You need it's might. So let's have a quick look. How much might have you got generating? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you need 2 or more, and it's 6. So you can afford to actually spend. You've got so much might. You're pretty good. So you got 11. That gives you. It's going to be 9. You can afford to have. So you can use the resource here. You can use his resource. So there you go. You can use your 2 resources up on there.
And still
no problem.
complete that
and
entire card.
Yes.
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yep. All right. So you've completed your objective. Now we have a look at see if I can do mine. I need zeal. I have 0. I have 1. I have 4, 5. So I've got 3 zeal. So 3 go onto there. Done. Right. We refresh. Everything just like so. And you then draw up 2 cards. I draw up 2 cards. I will take a quick scan. Right. Let's take a look at yours. This is effectively going to be the last round. But as I say, we will freeze the game, and hopefully we can come back to it. Yeah, because I think we're so close. We're so close. Okay, this is Gerold. Gerold? Yep, let's say that's what his name is. He costs you 2. He has 0 zeal. He has 2 might, 2 hit points. When played, he deals 1 damage to 1 non-leader enemy. Again, it's not specifying a wedge. I think that could be against any enemy. Okay? Because it's not specifying. That's what we're going to go with. Odo. Not the Star Trek version. His family is Robert Mortain. Do you have anybody? Costs -2. So if you have any of the Mortains coming out. But he is a cleric. So if destroyed, suffer -1 zeal in this card's wedge for this round. So you want to keep him alive. Okay, but wow, he has 1 zeal and 4 might. Oh, goodness me. And you're after might, but remember, you've got enough might to do your objective already. So those are your extra cards. Okay, I've got my cards. Right, away you go. What are you going to do? And you see how you've automatically, you're up to 5 cards already, so it felt like you were a little bit low to start the game, and now you've got plenty of cards, yeah?
So my free card destroys somebody, right? Or
he does 1 point of damage on that wedge.
Would he be able to... Do you have a 1-point person on your bottom row now?
Yes, I do. I have the lovely lady from Mercia.
So I could use him and get rid of that.
You could do, yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay,
so you're playing him. So hang on. So you have to play him. So he goes there. Remember, you've got to then, it's in your next turn, you can do that action. So he's been played, no cost. It's over to me. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do it up front. I'm gonna use that archer and do 1 point of damage. Okay, over to you.
So I guess I'll do that to destroy them.
Yeah, so you're gonna use him, Ivo. Suicide attack. He's killed the lovely lady. All right. Over to me then. I'm gonna use my other archer. Do another point. So we got 6 points of damage against William. Over to you.
How do I attack them? Just have to have a card that says that I can?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So if I play my cost 1, it could kill one of them, correct? My Fred card or whatever?
Your Fred card. Where's the Fred card? Oh, right, yes. So you basically, it's a cost of 1, and you can destroy either the Saxon or one of the archers, yes.
Yeah, I'll play that card to destroy them.
So you need to use one of these cards. Remember, it was might. I think if you use the Archbishop, he has no might, so it doesn't affect the...
Let's use him.
Yeah, so that being used, you're using that card. Which archer are you getting rid of?
Whichever one is the strongest.
And in fact, actually... Oh yes, destroy one enemy unit with a zeal, so it's irrelevant the amount of hits. So this guy, he actually has 3 damage, so he is actually the strongest out of the cards. But so yeah, get rid of him.
Yeah.
So he's dead. Okay. Ah, that was painful. Right. I'm going to use this card, discard it, to basically play local advantage for the Saxons. And I'm going to add this to Wedge 2. Gives me a +1 on a might. So I'm just going to put that there. So I get a +1. Okay, back over to you.
I have an event card. It's the route enemy. What does that one do?
Destroy one enemy unit with a zeal of 1 or lower.
Would I be able to get rid of, like, your archer?
Yes, you would. Yes. But it costs 2 to put into play.
Mm-hmm. And then my 2 cards left on might have how much might? The ones that I can tap?
Oh, the ones you can... you mean these ones here? They both add 1 might each.
1 each?
Yeah, so you need 6. So let's imagine you could you could tap those. Hang on. That's 2, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yes, you can tap both of those and still achieve the objective card. Just go with it, Sarah. Yeah, do it. Because if this is where we're going to pause it, so it's probably a really good place to end. You'll achieve your objective. You'll have got rid of my...
Yeah, I guess I will tap those 2 and get rid of your archer.
Exactly, yeah. Makes good sense. So there we go.
And that leaves me with Gerald and Odo in my hand.
That's it. Yep, that's gone. Okay, I'm going to pass. So I take the first player token. It comes back over to you, and you're obviously going to pass as well, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
do we want to finish it out?
Right. So, okay. So we'll just summarize everything. So you have enough might to basically defeat or to finish your objective. Now it means that you have to kill one of your units here in the battle. So you're going to have to choose somebody to sacrifice.
What does my 2 guys in the middle row do?
Roger is 1 zeal, 2 might, and Hugh is 0 zeal and 3 might.
What are their damages?
2 and 2.
But then the middle guy does something, right?
This guy. Oh, neither of them do anything because they've already done their. Hugh did his action, so he's already been done.
So I'll keep the one that has the highest might.
Yes, so you're keeping Hugh, and so Roger is. Unfortunately, Roger fell in combat. So you're getting your next objective, which is your penultimate one. So close, so close. Let's just show you. It's the invasion of Sussex on the 28th of September, which is a battle of might. So you made the right call on there. When destroyed, you must destroy one of your units. Okay, so you're so close.
One more round, then we would be done with those cards.
But unfortunately, we've got to call it time.
No!
But we'll freeze frame it. We'll freeze frame it. Okay. I have got to. I'm just going to say, oh, hello, Augie. Welcome. We're just literally coming to the freeze point of we're just about to start the grand battle of Hastings. So close. But so Sarah, you're done. We come over to me. I am after zeal. How much zeal? I got 1, I got 2, 3, I got 6, I have 7 zeal, which means I have 5 spare. So I managed to complete my objective. And I get to draw a card. Okay, that's good. So I take a card, done.
So would we be finishing this like next week?
We could do. We'll have to find a day to sort of slot it on in. But yes, we'll talk about that. But yes, I will take a photograph of everything, so we have everything set up, and potentially I might not even move the game. We might leave it exactly where it is. If maybe we can play at the beginning part of next week, that would be great. But there we go. Wow. Oh yes. So we'll just tap those because they are all set for the next turn. Quickly then, what do you think? I think you've really got into it, haven't you?
Well, I mean, I think it's a good review if I want to keep playing.
Yeah. It's fascinating.
I'm in trouble because my leader's almost dead, but
I just need to get a few more hits in there. But all my archers have gone now. You did some really clever card play to get rid of those archers. I'm glad that I used them before you started thinning them out. So yes, that was good. Love the artwork. Artwork is absolutely beautiful on all of the characters and all of the units. So easy to get into the game once you get going.
Definitely be a quicker playing game if you're both at the same table and
sure.
You're used to playing. It could definitely be a quicker game.
Yeah, it says between 30 to 40 minutes, and yes, we know that from experience, don't we? That if we were sat down together, we'd play a lot quicker. Obviously, as a first game, we're just getting to grips with the rules, but I think when we play this again next week, we will blast through that initial or the tail end of the game. We only have to deal now. Essentially, we've got a couple of objectives both together, so you've caught up. We're at the same level. We're on cards F, both of us, which is really good. And then we're going to take out these wedges. So it's all down to who can actually fight in the actual battle, which will be interesting. So there we go. Wow, what a great place to sort of pause the game. But as I say, we will continue playing this at the early part of next week, so make sure you tune on in. I will, of course, let everybody know when that is so that you can join us. Thank you, Sarah. That was brilliant. looking forward to continuing.
All right, well then I will jump out of chat. Hold on. Whoa, let me use my awesome computing skills. All right, well as always, thank you, Monkey. And I'll see you next time we play.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye now.
Okay, so our thanks to Sarah for a part 1 of playing 1066 Tears to Many Mothers. This was a lot of fun. Really looking forward to finishing the game early part of next week. I hope you guys in the chat have enjoyed and followed along with how our forces have amassed. A couple of little skirmishes happening, few arrows being flown, but still all to play for. So have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week. But until then, bye for now.